welcome to the program. My name is Abman Kota again, and we are very much happy to have your company for the next 1.5 hours. This is the Tpn TV and Radio Network. As we all know, there are so many things we'll get for discuss today, especially things that we get for do with politics and with country. And as we all don't understand, there are so many information, news and campaign information and accusations and counter accusations, everything just compounded into 1 week. So every week we get for discuss some of them things and the way throughout the week where they happen in our society, in our country. So that's why we get for discuss today. And first of all, I want to give an update on some of the campaign teams them where they go around the APC, the NGC, the SLPP, and the C4C, the ADP, all the other political parties them. We know say the campaign don't gain steam right now. Every party now crisscross the country and try for make some headway for when this coming elections, and that's not something we really want for telling about. One of the things we I want for telling is Kono became this week. Kono became a battleground for a lot of the campaign them, you know. And we know say Kono in particular a very important district for any party we want for win this election. Yeah, at least you must win Kono, or you win alternative, which is Mayamba district. Then to places here, now a place where you at least you get for win Pujao district, you get for win one or you win Kono. And if you're not able to win any of this, it will be very difficult for make you able win elections, because as you know, these are two swing districts in the country. And we also want to tell now about one of the things that we don't begin coming into a political debates right now, and that is the FGM, the female genital mutilation. We discuss about that too. Then also we discuss about the lawsuits where finally APC don't put against Kande Yunkela, and thank God a supporter of Kande Yunkela now one of the commentators then now the TP and then at the line with we will discuss about that and see waiting again. I don't say some of them we don't discuss about that for some time, but as information they trickle in, now so we will give that information. Yeah, so we'll discuss about this also, and we also want to discuss about the communique where 9 political parties they issue yesterday, Friday, against the decision of the SLP, the Sierra Leone police. So because according to the Sierra Leone police, they want for make them ban every movement in the country except NEC officers, police force, and all other people them for them are their oaths. So some of the commentators them the political parties them they don't decide for say no, that's not gonna happen, because number one, the country no means say because they're going to election, so therefore stop everything. And according to some of the political parties, they say now a ploy for make the ruling APC party for make the ruling APC party well rig the election. I don't know how that's going to happen, but that's some of the things that way the political parties they accuse the SLP, the Sierra Leone police, for say they no go agree to that, and definitely they go rather prefer for make them open up. Then they also put other things there that the communique say. They reference 2012 election where them believe say during the day some police officers then they intimidate the neck officers then at them polling station there. So then give a stand warning say they're not going to tolerate this in this election, and every police officer where they assigned to a polling station gets uniform number one, and secondly he get for be visible about 10 feet. Get for get in badge for make sure say yes na real police uniform, because according to them I know say some of their accusation they look a little bit ridiculous. They say the police officers them mean they not be wear uniform, then they change uniform them, then go vote from one polling station to another. These are the accusations where then they levy against the ruling APC party. So that's not the reason this way then see they know they accept the decision of the police. But let we start with the campaign. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we all know say at this particular time the campaign is in full swing. We know that, right? We know say the APC is doing all its best for make them convince enough people. The NGC, the same thing. The C4C, the same thing. And what else? The ADP. We don't hear much about the PMDC. And probably it's no surprise that the PMDC is not coming up on the radar like the other political parties there. The reason is from the beginning, the PMDC been try for align with other political parties, because Charles Magai, when the leader of the PMDC, he really believes in they not go likely able, the PMDC not go likely able win elections. So therefore, he therefore align himself with other political parties for make they able to make an impact into this election. So I've been telling earlier say Kono became the battleground this week, and indeed, as soon as you see the picture we screen, we definitely know say a lot of political activity been go on at Kono, and because of that, Kono is becoming a very important place for politics, because before I tell you, I say Kono, the APC, the reason what to make the APC win elections first round in 2012 was because Kono been really support the APC, but because there are so many things where don't happen since 2012, Kono is now a battleground. The APC went to Kono with the full support of most of the Kono people. But now one thing where it surprised me, and the reason what make it surprise me, the fact that it seems this coming election, any political party where gonna a place, everybody they go for good support. This is very, very surprising, because you go see people there. If now the APC go na like Konoso, you see most of the people that were being support the SLPP, they all in that crowd there. And the same thing if the SLPP go, the one the way you see that they dance for the APC, they all in at the SLPP crowd. The same thing with the other political parties them, and it look confusing. And this now the reason this way a lot of people then when analysts dem go tell you say we get to be very careful for look at the 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 crowd size and determine the popularity or the outcome of the elections. For example, na Kenema, the APC put a big crowd na Kenema, big crowd, and even ADP when na Kamagemba, it put a big crowd. So I think some of we when they say we na political analysts, we get now for revise some of we logic behind what we think na get for be the outcome of these elections, because the population is becoming more unstable in terms of support. For say okay, me na APC when SLPP come na me town, I know they go there. We dey see everybody they go there. But I know there are people who go tell you say forget about that. This party they win, that party they win. So these are the things, and also C4C when Sam Sumana last week. I actually tell una say the C4C is the most impressive party, considering the time when they come into existence. The most impressive party right now, where I see the way that they come up, if they never able to win election, definitely we all know that. We all know say C4C no go able to win election. I don't say members of the C4C they're not happy with me, but that's just the facts. They're not able to win election, but the C4C is becoming popular every single day, and that's now the time for talk about. I not talk about whether they are going to win election or not, but if in a political system like the one at Sierra Leone, where there is a specific percentage where a party is supposed to reach before ever they win the election at the first round, when at 55%. Anytime when another party come where they take away from you, that disadvantage for you. And that's not the thing why they talk about. Say the C4C is becoming popular in the sense like trying for cause damage for a lot of parties. They are really ready for cause damage, So that's not the thing where they talk about. And if you look at the C4C, the message is very simple. When they monitor Sam Sumana, what are they sense with him? Now a kind of like what they say the exposer. Income for kind he say now for kind exposed. Because every time he give a speech, a campaign speech, he end up for say if they deny me, I get documentation. Well, I want for talk to Sam Sumana. Hopefully, I will able if I don't able to talk to her because he will be busy. Sometimes I will talk to one of in spokesman for Law Usiba, because she doesn't talk say I get documentation, and today is the 10th. Today is the 10th. If you get proof, if you get documentation, you really get serious for expose the inept behavior of the APC. It is time for make you will begin pull out the documents here na the public. Because if you talk about them thing that you say you get document, now the body of proof already come onto you for make you prove say yes what you dey talk, not to just a kind of a made up story. you get documentation, like the way you claim say you get documentation. This one the thing why they talk about with the C4C. But to be honest with you, the C4C, they really they come up. Because the crowd in the pool, in fact, Kono is no surprise with the C4C because that's not the headquarter of the C4C when you talk about support. You see, Kono is not the headquarter, so therefore, there is no surprise for say the C4C pool crowd probably more than any party inside Kono. Probably. So that's my own headquarter, and probably we know say we na the APC, some of we na pragmatic politicians them or analysts them. We know say Kono we don't lose them, and now this year you don't say where I been talk and before even waiting they happen today, so it happen. So let me bring in Mr. Abdul. Mr. Abdul, let me talk about the C4C first and what you think based on the monitoring the monitoring.
Well, you kind of put it in perspective that Kono probably is gone. Well, I don't even want to use the word probably now battleground now, but Samura would Sam Sumana will do very well there. The question now is, if he does, then that means who is more popular in Kono? Yambasu, when Ambassador Nakosha, Konomani, and Uda, the resident minister Nakenema, and Logus them. So Uda popular. But he has for tell right now because where you talk and you say any party where you see they go now one area they see a lot of population. Mankota is easy for tell is because now money people they want they know say where them party are they come then they spread the money and people in the suffer. So they know say if for see come na Kenema they must spend money, then they cook and they make gladly a lot. If NGC come or SFPP or APC, but everybody pretty much this election, me say again for take something on about 50% to 60% of the people already don't make up their mind whether they go vote for. And the advantage, well, and a lack of a better word, I use that word for Stumana. Most time, I mean, most of the people who vote for them, these are people who sympathize with the treatment and Escoromagian, where they're not happy about it, and so if we say that you vote, a protest vote against APC. So, in a way, yes, you're right that he's been marginalized. Why I say that? Because you know, expand on him. Now, in force, say it run for party C4C. If you go back and check the record journalist, Yom Kela was still SFPP. You know, be even Komoye where Ali Bangura and then inspired them from NGC where Yom Kela be part of it now. Samsumana Yoni been on their own, but because the government be still they find way for Mosula. Now the last person will then give certificate, you know, where Amul can give certificate. But what they go right now, what he don't do, demonstrate say even though he himself was not in Sierra Leone, but then he actually shows say he gets a team. We're very committed to them, and then they do the groundwork for them. Now let's wait and see when he starts to visit other district headquarters there, Pochiloko, Makeni, Magboroka, and the southeast part of the country, and we'll see if the crowd will still they will go na then they if that is the case, I mean, you talk crowd sometimes, you know mean anything because if not crowd, then you go through this person will get this much crowd, they don't win. And don't forget some of them, this crowd where they see na the social media, these are old videos them where people in the try for Photoshop the crowd. Except that if crowd where they see now the candidates there on top open pickup or whatever sunroof, then maybe you go say, well, you know, it's not crowd. But even at that, you know, if not crowd and money, better one I for be president today. Or even 2012, I call him Madabio, because I was in Sierra Leone 2012. Like today, the next day, Madabio pulling rally, I mean, in last, I call him campaigning or rally in a free trunk. If you see people that are upgone to table, Kisiro, table, pizza. Yeah. People are still now upgone, so don't reach pizza. The crowd. But what happened? and look at all that. He still lost the election.
Yep.
So let's just wait and see what's going to happen, whether they crowd there mean anything. And I'm glad you admonish your party people and say, well, few days we acknowledge the fact that there are areas that we don't do wrong, and we have to acknowledge the fact that it's not going to be as easy as it was maybe 5 years ago. Once people are able to understand that, then maybe we'll see where we'll go. But when some people are in denial, we say it's going to be business as usual. No, it's not going to be business as usual. Sam Sumana spent a lot of, even if win the presidency. But if the technology they for sure say it carry Kono, just so to embarrass Konomani, Yambaso, Lugus, and the others way Komuna Kono, way in Kabul together for federal. That's some more.
Yeah, well, that's very, very important because some of the things we find out as a person we don't monitor, we don't follow Sierra Leone politics for a very long time is the fact that the politics is still there at the infancy stage, and what I mean, we still get this optimism in politics, and that's now probably they affect some people. They're not able to see the real picture. And I always they talk about optimism versus reality. These are two things where adjacent to each other, but mostly they can work hand in hand. But the one always look like the one always bad for, let me put on so pan politics. Too much of optimism now a bad thing pan politics, especially when the outcome not to you the controller. Now another person they control the outcome of a thing. And this now in a lot of people they not understand say because the outcome of a particular process is not in your hands. You therefore be very cautious when you are optimistic. Reality is something very, very important for politics. And how you go able to know the reality, you therefore be very, very analytical, look at things, you foresee, because of the pattern of waiting be done happen before, you're able to foresee waiting therefore happen in the future for politics. For example, this corner issue, some of we were very much analytic and very realistic. We all get optimism now in our life, especially when it comes to politics. I'm very much optimistic, say APC will win election. This election, very much optimistic. But I'm not going to tell you, say, unrealistic. Because at the end of the day, now people don't get for votes. Psychology not going to ever tell you, say, this now a certainty. It will tell you, say, it may happen. But there are people where they look at politics and say, you know what, optimism is reality. When they look at crowd like this way they happen so, oh, we don't win this election here. And in fact, some of the places now, some of the forums them now, internal forums them, there are people at one time, I think last week or so, I tried for put out an analysis where I talk about the APC, the challenges we will get now APC, and how we were able to mitigate the challenges and I get out very clear, especially in terms of Sam Sumana, because when I see Sam Sumana, the monitor in campaign they go on, and they find out saying Sam Sumana is going to be a threat for we, not only because he want for win election as I say earlier, but because it take one of the most important districts for the APC. There is one guy we call himself Kande. He disputed me fact say, in fact, the guy say APC they win election the first round and will they bring 59% reality. Okay, well, now we look at the reality here. In 2007 to 2012, Anes Koroma was the most popular politician at that country. And the way Anes Koroma been popular in 2007 to 12, you know they expect say Anes Koroma no they win the election. But now we look at the facts here. Even with the highest popularity where Anes Koroma gets, this particular election, if you see, we win election not because Dr. Samura is the most popular person, but because Ernest Koroma in efforts and in popularity. The same way, if we lose this election, not only because Dr. Samura know how for campaign or in popularity, because Ernest Koroma in popularity and in efforts. Because right now, Ernest Koroma don't take this election to be now a kind of the last frontier for your political career, for the continuity of your political career. So they do very much, they do all way for make sure say the APC win the election. So that na in already Ernest Koroma don set that stage there. Okay, but the time when Ernest Koroma was so much popular than now, now 58.7% now we bring able to bring 59%. How optimistic? And that's only now only the SLPP will be the first. All the other political parties they're not going to be political materials. Now only the SLPP. One party now will be the first. We're not able to bring 59%. How on earth some people they just they don't know more than they make analysis like say this na in that the reality get for happen. They say first round 59%. You say them people then bring them then get them their analysis and they if you want to say something, Mr. Abdul.
No, wait on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so if you look at this, what I decide for tell listeners, especially we waiting at the APC, optimism is a very good thing. But in always come the way unpredictable. I think that the best word we have for talk. It's very, very much unpredictable. And by this election, yeah, the field is so crowded. And when I say crowded, every political party they get the potential for winning this election. The 5 political parties then when are the top political parties then, each of them get the potential for winning the election. Unlike the 2012 election, now only 2 political parties then will get the ability for win that election game. We're not able to bring 59%. Where this analysis come from? But again, it's called optimism. Go ahead, Mr. Abdul.
Well, Makota, you clearly put it correctly. Ernest Koroma is in popular 2012. And you and I know, and the listeners they know, even some SLPP people, when they nominate Mother Bio say win, some of them grudgingly and privately they go tell Shahoma we don't lose this election. So even what you the reference to some APC people, I believe they themselves know, but yes, they cannot accept it, they are in denial. With a flawed candidate like Mother Bio, we get a baggage, and as Koroma not able to score second term in office like waiting Pakaba was able to do over 70% in 2002, where he beat Ernest Koroma. Ernest managed to squeeze in 58%. And if you recall, the sooner Christian Atop announced the result, that same evening, they did not arrange this whole thing now. The Attorney General who did not notify him. The Attorney General Frank Agbo was standing by. Within that 10 days, they're going to sit right away. They swear that the president. So that said, you say, even though they get 53%, they were also worried because we stand normal today. Why Russian propose in this president when they don't announce the result anyway? That's when you win. But notwithstanding that, as clearly stated, he able to pay for 58%. So that means even with popularity at that time, the agenda for change, they don't come now. But that means the people still present some of the policies there. So that's why he was not able to win 60% against a flawed candidate. And one against, it was one party, way formidable way now, SLPP. Now you have 2 parties, plus SLPP making 3 or 4, we're very formidable, where all percent the chance for making the winning winner, then will be a spoiler. So this is the problem. And as Koroma is ballot. Now, a different point, they will say this is political legacy. That means the agenda for prosperity is not really mean anything, not benefit some people or the political state, the one the way they suffer and the more who the one the way they are for prosperity benefit. So maybe this what the APC for below, if they believe in the 10-year stewardship of an Eskuruma, based on what some of them are speaking on now their forum them, you don't really let the record speak for itself. Let this process, let it go through, let it take its course. It's less than 1 month to election, then let the people of Sierra Leone decide. And they announce the result that it conducts free, fairly, transparently, no facts, no intimidation, nobody follows time. And then I believe generally that whosoever emerges victorious, as far as all the people have said, the process will be fair. I think say then we salute our President Day and congratulate them, and then willing for work with them, say now we own Commander in Chief and concede the result. Now that may believe, but you are right that whosoever call this election say this person will win and right away, even when you say you believe say PC go win, I mean you have to say cautiously or because that is not guarantee that they are to win. You know, don't face the fact. Let's go back 2007. Yes, Anes Kuruma APC was challenging an incumbent president, and I've said it on your show, and I'll continue to say, about time, unless someone were really politically biased, you know, because politics are cast in this, you know, there were things where SLPP Kabas time did for Salome. The problem. The SLPP propaganda campaign, media, whatever we call it, was not able to be effectively pro with APC. That's another factor we made Berewa be lost the election. And again, from what we are hearing from other SLPP people, Berewa too was not really widely accepted within the party because Napakabai imposed Berewa on the number. So then go with the control line, but they were not exuberant, 100% happy about it. But look, what happened? You know, the first round, no clear winner, not it. So had Charles Magano joined APC, and Kuruma still not win the election. So then people also APC power, APC is popular. Nakabuki dance because if Magano been joined 2007, how? People in Canada, number two, and number one, sorry, and number two, running against a flawed candidate. You have had now 5 years in office. You don't put program the whole and say, Alhamdulillah, lifelong future now, blah blah, the rules and all. Still, you know, if you squeak in 65-70%, you barely make a 50. Just 2-3% above the constitutional mandate we require to have to score 55% to avoid the runoff. So how can people sit down and say, oh, quote unquote, this party and this man is popular? I yield back.
Well, I want for make sure say I get my responsibility now for defending the APC party. The reason we all know say yes, the APC party was going to win the election based on the candidates where we been run against when Madabio the 2012 election. The surprise here is Madabio did very well that election because Madabio was very very polarized. If we look at in record and everything, but will not be actually go after Madabio because the APC be don't look at Madabio in ability for winning an election, so will not be actually go much against Madabio. And I think say at this particular time, it look very very dangerous, and it don't say we are the one may party on this. You see, by any community, whether a political community or social organization, somebody where they get a foresighted vision about certain things, them, and especially when that society don't realize it, that person they most of the time what they talk now through, not for the listening a little bit with what that person they talk. You know, if you look at this election, Madabio will not even care about Madabio at all. The APC not care about Madabio at all. I not see, maybe I may be wrong, but I not see who say people like Dr. Samura, they go around the country, when the candidate, they go around the country, try for distinguish himself between him and Madabio. We just don't can't take say Madabio is nothing but always na somebody who they beat. I like na dog with boots na APC who they beat Madabio. So either because of that, we always they go against the new guy in the block, when Kane Yumkela. The danger here is, as I always say, the SLPP gets a block. The SLPP gets a base. Unlike Kane Yumkela, he not get a base where he say he guarantee say this now this area, no matter what, now this percentage I expect for get this area. The SLPP gets that base day. And the ignore what they ignore. I don't say let we not attack Kane Yumkela, but the ignore what they ignore the SLPP, it will be very, very detrimental for we. It will be very, very detrimental. And to be honest with you, I see say if at all the APC and the SLPP go to a runoff, it will be very, very interesting how the other political party get for maneuver for join or other parties them. It will be very, very interesting. But they ignore Madabio or the SLPP. Sometimes I big mistake when they do so. And I always they tell them people that they now we talk about the APC where they finally go to court and try for they don't sue already. The NGC person when Kade Yunkela. The thing where I get is the fact is here is these lawsuits probably will be a defining moment for this election now. But I suspect one thing. I may be wrong. This is just an opinion. I want for my listeners they not take a literally an opinion. You know, and opinions are not facts most of the time. Now what you think say now in there for happen. This is not kind of a speculation where I decide for put here. The Supreme Court may not probably call this case until after election. I'm suspecting that. Because in as much as we say the Supreme Court is very, very unpredictable, I think say there are already influences don't begin pouring into some members of the Supreme Court about this. This is bigger than the Supreme Court itself. Therefore, I'm speculating saying they will rather prefer for not call this case for make a judgment on this case until after election. Or if the Supreme Court decide for call this case, then will judge in favor of Kane Yumkela. That's an speculation. Because the kind international influences we don't begin pouring against this to the Supreme Court, it seems they will find it very difficult for make them can cause a big commotion at the country. It will be very, very difficult for make them except a Supreme Court where no care nothing about the safety of the country. But I believe say the Supreme Court, in as much as they're very, very unpredictable, I think say they also care about the safety of the country. This particular case, now two outcome. This is my own prediction. Now two outcome. The first one, if they can call the case, then we'll judge this case in favor of the NGC. Me na APC. I want to make the APC win this case. I want that. But like I said earlier, optimism not to reality. And based on the available facts, available evidence, it will be very, very highly unlikely the Supreme Court can and disqualify Kande Yumkela. It will be on precedenting move by the Sierra Leone Supreme Court. That's my own prediction, but let's wait. Two things. Either for Kande Yumkela, or they will not call this case at all for make them not embarrass William Party. Because when you look at, ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this case, they said they sue Kande Yumkela because by the time when he registered as a voter, he was not, he was still a citizen of the United States, and the argument, the legal argument is the United States not accept dual citizenship. God forbid it. It could be very difficult for any national Supreme Court and come and tell you, say, yes, not true, the United States no they accept dual citizenship. While you go to the United States, most of the official website there, it did right there, they accept dual citizenship. And in the United States Constitution, I will talk this because we have responsibility in this as much as we support the APC. We want to make the APC win because, in my own opinion, I believe say the APC it will do a better job more than other political parties. That's my new political partisan opinion. So I want to make them win. But when it comes from the interest of the country and the democracy of we country, I don't know if you say this case go favor we. And I talk this before. I don't see why they talk this before. When I get for realize back, this one go favor we. I don't say now a way for make we try for threaten and try for impede Kande Yumkela. But at the end of the day, the Supreme Court may not call this case at all. And if they call this case, which I doubt, but if they call this case for hearing, then go end up for rule in favor of Kande Yumkela. Based on waiting, the government, the spokesman for the APC tell we that this media. Based on what they tell we, except maybe they revise their lawsuit too. But if the same lawsuit, then we're not going to win this case. We're not going to win this case. Go ahead, Mr. Abdul.
Well, Makota, let God bless you. The church on a very well, I don't want to say sensitive thing, but let me. I'm glad the way you say you believe say if APC win, now you own party in opinion, then go make the country. Let me begin there first. I mean, I beg to disagree. APC don't rule 34 years, that country day. APC is on record as the only opposition party for win an election post-independence in West Africa. We overthrown a government which take that country day to independence. That is a stated fact. Now, if we look at people when APC camarade, meaning Sheikh Stevens in contemporary, when they were all in power, under APC when they and other parties, Sierra Leone is the least developed country. When you look at the span where this party don't they in governance, and you look at other countries where these are friends of Sheikh Hassim, meaning, I mean, they were all in power. You look at Senegal, Sheikh was in power. Look at Kenneth Kaunda, Sheikh was in power. You look at I call him Mwalimu, Dishisha, Nerare. These are all Sheikh in contemporary time. He visited those places. We have a street man in Freetown named Jomo Kenyatta Road, just by Kiama Road. Uzapa Sheikh Day. Go, you don't need to travel to these countries. If you find out the time where Mwalimu and they in governance, they did well. If we any them, you may say they stay in power forever. but they demonstrate, they show that why they are in power, they were in power for 20, 30 years until then died. The evidence was there to see. So I think some of us lately we become emotional that you cannot throw the party line for 20, 30 years because my party na the region I come on, when the evidence they show contrary. So I believe
but APC no more rule the council.
No, I come. APC na the rule 34 XFP 17. I understand that. Not to the normal. So I'm trying to say not to them, but they will rule the country for longer years. And the one they will rule for 17 years. Well, you go say, with all due respect, you go say, Sakaba in the first civil war. I don't know if Jakaba, I've never met him in person. But I want them we can America, we will go to DC, we can talk during the war. So that's the only time. But I don't know him. It be the fight a war in country. You know? And where the war done, the international community come. You and I know some of the institutions of government where they today, that's Napakurum and Pakaba interrupt them or revive them. So I think maybe it's better we put it in perspective. So all people are asking, why give power to the same party where really something there where you go say, well, we they come up free term for Goma 91, we still a Masheka. It's about, we still a Waterloo. It's about time we pass Masheka now. You know, I think that is the point here where I decide for me. You know, because all them country I want name, when you see them, you visited them, or even you look them on television or whatever, you go to say, they're passed alone, Mankota. So, but then another side. You talk about the lawsuit of NGC. Well, I've been not talking at this forum long time ago. The reason why Anes Kuruma then come up with this thing for deny even APC people symbol, now because of Donkela. And I don't tell you, say, entire APC campaign, a meeting where they hold, a strong APC member, a senior member of the campaign goes. I been on the talk this, wait next small, 9 professor, we don't turn Boma, you know, we professor. This man, he don't can't turn Boma. So everybody know all these things they do, now for Yonkela. But you and I know, you alluded on it earlier on, that the international community don't begin pay attention. So your friends at APC, they're not for denigrate Yonkela in Connectum. Total man, you know, fine. Just like the NJ way of Bastajo, tacitly give an endorsement to Yonkela. The APC people in I forum, they cry down. Well, 2012, 2012, where Bastajo endorsed Anes Kuruma, even visited Sierra Leone, campaign with him sort of made press conference or whatever with an appeal Sunday, whoever they went to dinner. Except if you don't complain, other people don't complain, then just it don't matter, you know. But for to say, it don't matter, this man in the law and all the rest of it. Well, that brother there and sister who were in a diaspora, I know, like I mean, not they bother me because I don't say the politics. They're just there for talking about inside and in cabinet or in government. Just like when you are bloody talk and say, if you not they see this and if you not they want it, they know say inside them, they know say it not going to shock them, maybe shock them, but if they were not expecting it, but they're not going to comment like me and you and others they comment. Because Obasanjo is a friend of Sierra Leone, you cannot say this man corrupt now, where Anes Kuruma been the dine and eat with her. So that means if he be corrupt, when did he become corrupt? If he be not corrupt all this time, well, that means the president, Mayor President Anes Kuruma, will be body is a corrupt. But what do you expect? If Obasanjo not be endorsed Yonkela, he endorsed Samura, Anes Kuruma in Heartbeat, the onslaught way for being go to Yonkela, I pass what will happen now. Look what this man, wait till you guys begin in Fadelote, in beginning man, in Daddy way married to, not endorse her, now this and that. So what the APC for do, the politics of Friday don't do. This time, they are facing a very formidable human being with a distinguished character. will not, anybody who don't pass you at this one, people in the talk up, then say don't pass you. You know, you go grab the money picking,
so what you talk now?
All these international presidents where they talk about Makota, we should not downgrade it. That remember, Yom Kela repeatedly, Julius Spencer repeatedly say, "When I know what is Yom Kela go down at the box, Yom Kela go down at the box." Repeatedly, and one of the audio, the video the way is a minister law, I get lawyer them, including constitutional lawyers them, where they were the authors of this so-called constitution. Well, you know, one of the authors of that constitution who was the cabinet minister, where I believe with all due respect, you went to school, you are well educated, you know, say, you and this person when I did the same class, but you know, say, you get no say, get this pattern. And so, some of them, lawyer there, I believe, say, one of the lawyers there, where Yom Kela, they talk to, where they advise them, I believe, say, some of them lawyers there, they're not going to talk about, they will accept, they will agree, say, then that's more the force when it comes to law. I'm not talking about the law. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not downgrading the law alone. But I believe, say, for me, I would rather have somebody from Harvard, Oxford, Yale, Cambridge, when a lawyer, all the honor students, a defending case, and somebody who is at the school law. This is just my own opinion. Now, so talking about all the international company presence and a saloon influence. Well, and as for expect this thing for happen. If I expect that, not somebody now so much that just for one great person, you want to treat it all. And this is what NGC is fighting for. And as Koroma done this, violate this constitution, and they go and punish, and they do it with impunity, nobody knows the question. So that is why NGC is prepared, let the case happen. And the people where they give money as salon, minus the remittance the way you and me they send as salon, they are paying attention on the election as salon. They are. And they're not letting it happen. Then one, I tell you now, let Yom Kela lost the loss. They cannot go there and fight for him because, we love Yom Kela, we don't deal with them. Now, how we credible, even though we are 80 people that say they man they lie. Well, if that is the case, I would be the first to say it here that your president, my president, and Eskuruma like you. Because if you go and Eskuruma said, good, when I become president of Sierra Leone, I will separate the office of Attorney General and Minister of Justice. He hasn't done that yet. He's leaving office next month. So can I turn around and say, like, no, you know, right? Maybe there are circumstances where he choose not to do that. But his campaign manifestos have to be looked at and studied. You could also interpret them as lie. Where this party say they do X, Y, Z, and the kind of power they don't do that, that means they lie to the masses. So these people, they so because I've been telling people and they lie this, Yom Kela they lie. Well, the people every master at salon and they get for votes. Let the people of Sierra Leone, the voters, make that judgment that this man is a pathological liar. So therefore, we cannot make electing president. So let the man let go. Not bring a shenanigan, a last-minute effort. Look at the time to election. It's not even 1 month. How do you expect the Supreme Court or for that deciding? It's not a problem in the beginning. So that means, Mankota, with all due respect, your party, they are not proud of the 10 years in office. Because if they are truly proud of the 10 years in office, what they don't do to the people of Sierra Leone to better them, to improve the system of education, healthcare, and the list goes on and on, then they're not for bring all them shenanigans. And you and I know, like I say, had Mother you only been at this ticket running like 2012, this attention where they pour now, you know the day, I just sit in my forum, where they say West Africa or whatever, then bring that woman to Ghana, where it don't go on, of course, it makes sure the election at Ghana, it's transparent for good checking and salute, for make sure say, every 3 days like I supposed for this. And as Koroma in government, no, say, oh, no one he does not have that power. Because then these people go turn around and say, hey, this is evidence number 1. Should in case there is a problem, as I don't say, as an organization where I signature to, we say we do ABC, you say no. So now this problem don't come, you are calling on the international community. So now that makes what they say, Mankota, we all get family. Lord pray let the election be peaceful. Because everybody go get affected. So anybody will get the country at heart, and then protect the party, like I talk and then can go back na court and withdraw this matter, make them go. But they telling us authoritatively, Yom Kela will be on the ballot on March 7th. APC no able to pull out. Sham not even think for that. Sham not think for that because they don't want problem that I can't say. So now that's no more.
What do you think say na Engel? What do you think say na the effect of Obasanjo in how you call him where he endorse Kanye Mkala? What's na the effect on we politics?
Well, in Sierra Leone, if you look at it internally, it may not get any effect because Obasanjo is not voting. But him as a former head of state, now the superpower of the region militarily and economically, and where anything that matters as Salone, Houston, for example, Hiccup did it, they have to be there. I believe in the sub-region, it means a lot. And that is assuming Obasanjo is respected at the West African region capital, the ECOWAS and heads of state currently, if they have respect for him, now Maui thinks he's credible, maybe he's an elder statesman for that region. So for land or somebody, the way there is, again, hypothetically speaking, assuming there is a problem with evidence says because this is their political life way fit them and that they just want to do something way bad for bring problem in that country, then I think say it will get effect. And because Nigeria is on record now, they have spent treasure and life that's alone. So Ernest Koroma and APC supporters cannot just downgrade it. With Sade, they mean they run for this support. I mean, they run. It's maybe they run after somebody for help me, for give me something. They give me for this time, not choose for give me. It decide for the other person. Hey, this Naim Bralo, I mean, for the law, what do you expect? This Naim for the law. You Sade, he endorse you and Escoma. This time, if you not endorse the one where you single-handedly pick, the man now in opposition. Now that's he choose for you. So why would not they cry and say, oh, na dictator, na this, you don't get this, you don't get, but you don't invite this man at your own country. You don't go to front like host, na God this, you don't stay. Instead of going to invite you, when I don't talk, now you within your right. He choose for do that. Let's turn the table around. If you now you endorse your own candidate, you go say what did they say so. So to answer a question, maybe within the region, assuming the command respects it to the current capitals heads of state, then I don't know. Maybe maybe it means something. And I'm happy, Makota, especially for some of us, not you, because you don't already go into that today. And I guess what I can today in that forum. Some of them, brother, we don't know how things are go. But I noticed some of them, they know they are just in denial for accept that. And for some of us, we are happy because that is exactly what we can the Yom Kela tell people that na Obasanjo and Nigeria for become UNIDO Director General because Yom Kela was UNIDO country representative in Nigeria, we cover other areas. Just like we Yom Kela can be Director General. Now during his own Director Generalship, Salon gets a UNIDO country representative when at Joseph Kuruma, I'm aware and estimate ambassador in China. Okay, it was the UNIDO representative. Nobody not been there. So for let Obasanjo talk say Yom Kela say I not be able to get this job here, even though now the Africa then turn forget the representative for big UNIDO Director General now been in term. Yom Kela say, well, me no say my country small, and Obasanjo no worry, we go support you. Why we brought that Sierra Leone and then they on that put that in there? We don't get nothing. We don't get nothing. And I go right, I go just talk briefly on that. Shaka Steven, the nominator, black on there. You know the issue because you are not a young man. A nominator for this secretary or for him. I'm like, I not get the job because Salo, we not get the money, we not get the power. We're not able to campaign for people then. Would that be support of black country? Nobody. What should he do? He bring her back, he can appoint Minister of Finance. You know, you and I know that they've been there before them pull away Momo issue come, we oppose Momo ascendancy to the presidency, which has been pulled out. Okay? So the evidence is there. Samula, you know APC man. Find that Malay as Wuda West alone nominate Samula. Whose country will second that nomination? You know, even with you immediate neighbors there. Liberia and Guinea, not even second division for nominate Samura. They're not done. So it takes a lot, it means a lot. You have to be a power, a regional power, we carry weight before you get a nomination, put forward, and then lobby for you and campaign for you for getting position. We don't have that at Salone. We have to accept that. Salone, we irrespective the country small, we not really get that here for say we're able to get certain things there we're able to get an award because it's for small. The man where the Nigerian fellow take over, I'm sorry I debate a little bit. The man where the Nigerian fellow take over as NDB president, I'm from Rwanda. You know, Rwanda is smaller than Sierra Leone. But they know what to do. They know what can they do. They backstop it. Like I say, I will write something today. One guy there where he even gets a position at the international court. Where not to Salome if he get that job there. He was ambassador from Salome to the United Nations. You know?
Yeah. All right. All right. Let we move the discussion from that to another very very important thing where they try for crawl into with politics. And when I say crawl, I mean international influence, and that is female genital mutilation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a very, very important for now we discuss this. We all don't know say this now a culture, a tradition, you know, passes from one person to another. And quite recently, I think about 2 weeks ago, one of the audios where they pull weekly, I came up with, say, the international community don't begin interfere with politics. Well, involve with now with politics because most of the time I they give me money, so not to interfere. Involve no more than they involve. So, but we know say most of the time the West or the international community always they take advantage of this uncertainty. Now, them poor countries there like Sierra Leone and other countries them, and it just can't find out say this now the time when a debate will don't take place for over 10 years. Now, they want for ignite them for make them able influence whoever is coming, just like what they do now. Now Liberia, I will talk about that later. But Sunday, we in Sierra Leone, they call Bondo Society. Now Liberia, Mali, and other West African countries, and they call it Sunday. It gets a long history since the 1624, when this thing they be able for begin record the historical record 1624. You know, there is one thing humanity, and this not only Africa, now they don't take that serious. Culture, now it make you who you are. Culture, now it define you who na you. Now it uniquely define you from other people. Now that make in the West, culture is very, very important. And the West always ready for fight for their culture. The West always ready for kill for their culture. The West always ready for do anything for make sure they sustain and improve dem culture because na im make them who they are. But in Africa, we don't know the value of culture. And since the 17th century, Africa don't lose hundreds of thousands of cultures because we don't know the value. Culture na im go able, na the easiest way where you go able for control somebody. It easier when you destroy somebody in culture for make e rely on you. That if you don't destroy a society's culture, then that society dey don't get anything absolutely wey dem believe in. Dem rely on you for tell them how you for live, for tell them wetin good for you, for tell you wetin good for you, for tell you wetin bad for you. I will give you a historical perspective on this. In the 17th century, probably the early 17th century, when European dem begin go na Africa, the first thing wey dem do, when dem go na Africa, dem see the land was so beautiful, the land was so fertile, and the culture wey be near that land dey was so unique and rich. But the young aim, the main aim wey dem go na Africa na for make dem go able get a new home or a new colony. Dem know say if dem go and begin fight with the Africans dem will likely lose the war. And dem come up with a very, very clever, crafty idea wey dem use. That is, for try take away we belief system wey na culture, we tradition, for try take away that from us, then we go left now empty-handed. And when you no get nothing, wetin you do? You dey turn to the person wey dey near you, wey you believe say e go able to help you. Na that crafty way dey dem do. Dem begin tell we say, okay, now the gods say wey una dey worship na bad god dem. We don bring the good, the real god. Okay. The religious culture wey Africa bin get, not of us say Africa dem no bin believe in a higher god. When e come and belief system, Africa believe in a higher god. Wetin we Africans dem dey actually we dey do, I dey come and the genital mutilation, but I just want to give una historical perspective for some dumb people dem, dumb Africans dem, wey just believe say anything wey the West dey say is final because they are the gods. In the religious culture wey we bin get, we bin believe a higher authority, but we bin believe say that higher authority dey is so far from we no go able to communicate with that person dey directly, and therefore that person dey get emissaries dem, whether we call am a stone, a tree, or whatever. Because African bin believe say when you go talk to this stone here, this stone go represent as a message, a module between you and the higher god. It go able to deliver your message to God because you believe say that's now the kind of belief system where African then gets. That's not the kind of belief system that make African religion get so many gods then. Well, not to Africa no more. The Hindu, they still dey practice heaven and hell. The Hindu dem believe say there are so many gods wey represent so many things in the world. Up to the 21st century, the Hindu dey not abandon dem kind belief system dem dey. And in fact, one of the most sacred gods wey dem believe na a cow. And guess what? Nearly 1 billion people where they practice Hinduism. The main region na India. But then still they believe in sin. Still believe in that culture. Well, the European then go there. The European then go there, they use the same tactics where they use in Africa for take away some of the belief system. But the Indians are so aware about the European tactics, even though there's a lot of them cultures were destroyed by the European, but they're able to uniquely identify themselves as Indians, and then retain most of their most important culture, including religious culture. I will tell you one thing about culture. Culture is something where not stagnant. Anything where stagnant, not to culture. Because the definition of culture now a practice where they pass from one generation to another, and each generation go able modify and improve that culture there based on the dictate of time. Because they know say the importance of culture is it's actually traces you who you are as a human being. If you there now any society where no culture, there's no difference between that society there and animals in bush. In fact, maybe animals them better self. Because we already know say animals they're not supposed to forget culture. But when you look at the animals in a very critical thinking way, you go see say animals and they no culture. It's easy for make you identify the behavior of the cow versus the sheep versus the goats versus the chimpanzee versus whatever animals. It's very, very easy. That's Ghanaian culture. The behavior. Your behavior is your culture. What you believe in, your belief system, your practices is the tradition. Okay? So what did the West do? They go to Africa, then tell you say them was they need them bad. But look what they happen today. They tell you say you know for take stone, go talk to stone. But look what they happen at the Catholic church today, 21st century. They know how they do them because I baptized as a Catholic when I was in primary school. Now RC Roman Catholic, I've been in good school. So I know exactly the culture of the Roman Catholic. You go inside a Roman Catholic church, you see Jesus Christ in image. He did in front of the church. You see Mary in front of the church. Then every time, then they go bow down to this idol, yeah, Mary or Jesus Christ. Then they talk. What's the difference between what people that may do and what the Roman Catholic they do now? So you see the manipulation, and then what to the extent and tell you same, even we on color, when are black, they make we hate we on color because one of the things that one of the tools that one there from colonialization, colonialism, when you able make somebody hate himself. We on color when are black, we hate we on color. For example, when you dream you wear black, you know what thing? You are sick. That bad thing. So therefore, you get for go put Sarah or you get for do this, you get for do that. We don't color. We see with brothers and sisters them. Then they go buy chemicals them, then they put on their face, then try for bleach for let them become this God. When are whites, the white God. Then they do that. Because that's this thing starts. That's the early 17th century when they go to Africa. Now this, they don't say God in a do thing in a miraculous way. God, anything what he do. The reason what he make, we get this black color, yeah, because we are very close to the equator. And the only way where we go protect ourselves from the radiation of the sun. Now when you color black, because black is actually deflects races where they come out from the sun. The white don't been tell me about this. Then say, oh, na black thing, na sickness. And from that mentality, thing what we don't put now we here, it became a culture. It's on itself. The Western people then create an artificial culture for the blacks. They insert it into we brain, and that don't begin. Now then it begin pass from one generation to another. Up to this time today, where we the 21st century, we still believe them thing. And that make anytime when white man say, waiting black man they do it bad. You see a lot of black men they come and they jump into that. They not try to understand why or what's the intent. Then they jump into that, and then they begin to cause their brothers and sisters. We're very aware of what they go on. This genital mutilation, to be honest with you, is barbaric. Now a culture, but now a culture we need for change, improve, and not say for disband them, like the way the Western world want for say for disband them. It need for change. The people then where they perform this well I know I call them genital mutilation, I call them genital circumcision, female genital circumcision. The people then where they perform this, they need for get training, medical training for the safety of them picking the day. And like what Sierra Leone do so. They pass a law where you no go do them, you no go perform that process there to any picking when they underage, the age of 18 years old. And even at that, the after the person don't pass 18 years, it therefore consents to that. That's not the improvement where we expect. And besides, anybody where they perform them so way there, where they perform them this culture, they need to get training. In fact, some countries in Africa don't already begin train them so way. Them people that way they do them here with basic medical training, so that it will be safer and less painful for the people that way they go through this process. In fact, some countries in Africa now they don't incorporate her into the health system. Most of the time, when they do them inside hospital. Some countries in Africa, yes. So you see the improvements, how this thing they improve. But when you say no, you ban this, then you get to ask yourself, is it really for the health and safety of the Africans, the female Africans, they go to this, or you get another agenda besides this? And that's now the debate supposed to take place. Now there the debate supposed to take place. What is the intention of the Western society for this? Let's say one thing first. The organization, the international organization, where actually right now they pioneer this within African societies and some parts in the Middle East. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. This now an organization where they do very well. They do very good things in Africa. This organization they help a lot of Africans them, but I will tell them one thing where a lot of them don't know. But within this organization, this is the organization also where they do a lot of horrible, bad things them within Africa. Bad things why they tell you so. Okay, and this is one of the organization where some of the Western societies, where want to continue for they destroy the cultures of Africa, then they use the organization because if the government, the Western governments come up and be the pioneers of them here, go to Africa, it will look like saying another colonization. So always they go under the organization here. And Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, quite recently, there was an election in Somalia. They go spend a lot of money in Somalia for make them ban this culture, even though they don't. This culture is all they don't begin for improver. Liberia not ban FGM because I hear one misguided person, Suleiman Fofana na Facebook. They go all over Facebook, he defecates Facebook because he just believes he know what he talk about. Oh, Liberia don't ban FGM. Liberia don't ban FGM. You know what Liberia do? Helen Sharif, before he left na power, he signed an order for make dem suspend FGM for 1 year, 1 year. And even at that, that ban dey, if we call am ban, that ban dey for 1 year, e only affect young people dem between the ages of maybe months to 18 years. The same thing wey Sierra Leone already don do. In fact, as we speak, FGM na Liberia is actually legal. The only thing wey make am illegal when you do am na somebody wey dey at the age of below 17. Na im people like Suleiman wey Facebook don give dem so much platform that dem no even know wetin dey talk. Dem no even care say, well, wait a minute, wetin dey talk so, how an intelligent person go take a look at me? Dem no care about that. It can be say this particular media, this TPN, about 7 years ago, when this thing been kick up, I been bring a lot of people them where they can debate, tell we why whether we supposed to ban this or not. And I involved so much in that debate. I get an idea, a clear idea. First of all, one of the things where the United Nations, UNESCO, the first thing they do, when they give them these contracts, you know what are the arguments where they come with now Africa for say that the reason they will for ban this, they say because of safety and the team barbaric. I agree with them. Just like I said earlier, I agree with them that this particular thing is barbaric. But you know what most of the African countries they do? They say, okay, yes, we did this thing barbaric, so let we improve them. Then begin make some legislations then where they ban underage circumcision and the rights to consent. And Sierra Leone happened to be one of the first countries that will actually pass the legislation and the way they in effect. And it can, the UNESCO can find out say, well, maybe this not going able, this not going able bring the outcome what we want. So they revise their arguments. They come up with sexual pleasure. Could you imagine sexual pleasure? The reason why they make one for that ban is when they put that thing, that person them no get any sexual pleasure. So they shift from the barbaric and safety to sexual pleasure. This, you see how the UN or the Western society they play on women because they know you say women is so messed up so much, we don't demented so much that it's easy for me to just kind of for this and clean up whatever we want. So what happened? Sexual pleasure don't come inside the debate. Oh, but ladies and gentlemen, we all know say sexual pleasure now something very, very subjective. You know, there's nothing to do with circumcision. Nothing, absolutely. Sexual pleasure is dependent on the two people, them, the man and the woman, the kind of connection and intimacy when the two people they get for each other, now they produce sexual pleasure. Otherwise, here in the United States, they get what they call oral sex. Here in the United States, they get what they call oral sex. What that has to do with circumcision? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So when people they just jump no more. But anytime when they say this na bad thing for Africa, how on earth the Western society that they get to tell what's bad for it? They don't do since the 17th century. Always they come and they tell you say this na bad thing. Then all of a sudden we change them to bad. You find out say when it comes to even religion, I want to go back religion a little bit. For me, I just emphasize the destruction where the Western society don't put now with brain. Where it will be very difficult until we stand up for ourselves. It will be very difficult for let Africa develop. When it comes to religion, scientific studies say the most pious people will actually believe in religion in Africa. Not African. And guess what? Religion never starts in Africa. Now a culture where they bring come. So how on earth we become the most pious people there? Even the people they will bring and come, we pass them. These are some of the things we're supposed to ask ourselves. The questions that we're African supposed to begin asking ourselves. How on earth we are so religious, even the people that will can't tell you same, not so. Now make we don't still so. Because we just so believe that anything God will bring and come for we. And the same thing with this. You see? But let's tell you one thing. Another thing very, very important for now to begin know as these debates they go on. The worst mutilation na the entire world. Genital mutilation na the entire world. Na the Western society. We all know that. Some of we know that. Transgender na the worst mutilation where don't ever happen in this world. Yes. They put her in a safe, they do her in a safe environment, and that is the reason now the way I support for make sure same. Then female genital mutilation will be done in a safe and at least painless environment. But when they cause transgender na the worst thing where they go cause they put everything here. Before they convert you into a man. So you see, but because that's not a thing where started in the West, it is good. We have people like Suleiman Fonam, we always in our social media. All the time this guy in our social media, he just talk riff-raff. You know what they talk? Suleiman Fonam, they come out and criticize transgender. Because you know that they kick her out now Australia. Because in colonial master say he right, so therefore he right. Now only courageous people they get the mind for stand up and say, wait a minute, is this actually like the intended outcome, or there is another thing where they get on their hand? So genital mutilation is something where need to change. It need for change. The process need for change. But it don't necessarily mean say we have to ban it. And I hope Suleiman will agree with me on this. Because what happened, the lady, when a doctor, for my Sierra Amadou, in fact, next week they can have a program for camp, for that we can do. They don't have a program so many times in 2012 and 13 about who discuss about this. This is not a medical doctor we live in America. Right now, it is a salon. If we don't have this salon again, but right now, it is a salon. It can have a program for that we can discuss again. Waiting supposed to change. Whether actually the banning of waiting other people they say so it will get for them. It can have a program next week. So the man said and say the lady lived in the 18th century. And like I said, na me audio for Suleiman, that even a person will live in the 17th century. Because during the 17th century, now the time when they were African man they look at white as a god. In fact, during that time there were certain villages. If white man go there, then say na kind of a devil. In the 17th century, certain villages where white man go there, then say na devil, na god. Now the time the way anything where white man say about Africa, we just they believe no more. Now the time the way they destroy a lot of we unique culture them. Where sometimes by this time for not improve their culture than they to this extent that sometimes Africa have been better than the way it is today. So now you live in the 17th century instead of you a medical doctor we know much about what they talk about, than you will know get nothing, no idea. Because when they listing you statement in our Facebook, it really no say you have no idea. You don't get what's not the objective of them people here. But anyway, I want bringing me commentator again. Mr. Abdul, go ahead.
Well, I really use throughout. I don't know, this thing, like I say, the white people, you know, one of the African writers, them, Chinia Chebe, remember, he writes one book, we're very popular. They are even using that book in universities in this country.
Yep.
Which takes for where he said the white man is very clever. He came quietly and peaceably with his religion, and we are amused at his foolishness and allow him to stay.
Yep.
Now he has put a knife on the things that held us together. We are falling apart.
Exactly.
You know?
You're right.
So this is just a continuation of what happened way back, where they come home, but now they know they can't home. Because now then they give him money, then get for tell you exactly how we for do things. Otherwise, they don't go give you that money.
Exactly.
So I believe say, like I talk, they just get to find a way for improve this year, make safety day banner. I disagree no more. Where I don't understand. We say even the government of Sierra Leone, the bill with they pass up to 18 and above, the posting for those circumcision, or even at that for consent. Well, that means indirectly it's going to be banned because you and I know we don't turn 18, 19. Most people will say, no, I don't want to do this anymore. You know? And me believe say, therefore just concentrate on the safety and the proper health way of doing it to avoid, to prevent disease and infection. Like with the birth begin, they circumcise an hospital with a man so that they don't go get any problem down the road.
Exactly.
I don't know, me or opinion, that's why they should focus African countries them for work with the WHO or then with the past. Say, look, this is our tradition. We're not go left back, we're not go stop, with all due respect. But what you will do, if we don't want help with, either same way we go get them people here for better training, and then forget schools that we complex, create and health issue. That's all. And then once you family tell them that, they will come back and think they bring it back. The answer is no. Maybe room there for compromise, but to completely ban it with tradition and like I say, they don't do from the 17th century and whatnot. And I don't think it will work. Now the side of it, therefore, concentrate on rather than banning it completely.
Let me give you and we viewers them and listeners them one thing when make say how desperate the West wants for bandits. In Liberia, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they don't fight for make them bandits so much during Helen Salif in Sanyo. Okay? They not ban them. This time when you say, okay, the woman they can leave, then carry money, then go tell them say, okay, if you because if them put on their own parliament or whatever they call that their own legislative branch, it will bring problem. You understand? You know for people them call. Then go meet and say, hey, here is waiting we want for support you. Do you sign an executive order for make this thing ban? Even Helen Salif, based on the information why they get, he even tell them say it's not possible for ban this outrightly. But I will do what you want me for do in another way. I will sign an executive order where go suspend or ban this thing for 1 year. For 1 year, for now we see right now they don't turn to President Weah for make them actually make a permanent ban across the board. I don't know if we are supposed to do them thing, but that are the situation where they're so desperate for tell we waiting Africans supposed to do. Even where would agree with them say we go change this, we go make am to the better, like where una dey do that as gender, una make am a safer process. Okay? If na for the cost no more, that's not the problem. Na the safety na African dey look at say this na a safety issue, and that make we want for make sure say we improve this so the safety issue go be eliminated. But the West no want that because that's then just really say everybody for live by their own rules. Go ahead. Sorry for cutting off.
Well, the guy you say the Mami he resist, then I think say other African leaders them who start this thing there for just go along with that two line they say no, we don't go change this here. I mean we need the money, but if you say na this for do, we don't go agree. The irony here is the way most of them country are the money where they really meant for that purpose. Some of them then they look at the smaller picture as long as you can and then your pocket.
Yeah, well, yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
But,
Greedy.
Yes, agreed, exactly. So now I'm going to make them bend over to okay, Lord do this and do certain things and all the rest of it. So if nothing where really an issue because I don't really know why this will be issue.
Yeah.
I believe say probably a few Africans when are women we don't kind of the Western world now we don't well educated, well connected. Maybe they are bringing this issue knocking on doors. Say this is prevalent in the African continent. That this may happen.
Well, let's tell you the history. I think I put her in one of my audio recently. You know how this thing started? Not all Africa, man. You know, there's nothing for do with African woman or whatever. Not to them. What thing that happened? Now a white female doctor. Now in go check Pekin, where they can go now your hospital. You know, like out there, you go check Pekin for whatever kind of infection and all that thing, right? When he can't see this Pekin, he can't see say in click no dey. So even just see say na a deformity. So she was so horrified because you know one day everybody didn't see anything. You understand? One day you know hearing. Now until when he begin ask the begin to tell him about this circumcision, female circumcision. Now they begin to understand this, and some of them that also them begin now for what they call in other white people, then doctors them begin form them group here for they against this thing. And now it just can't happen. Say like what you talk so. Now the only way where them will able attract the government in Africa now when they begin bring in Africans then for make them come begin talk about this then talk about their own experience, which most of them, some of them then do them things to them, they're not even aware because they were maybe like 5-6 years old. You know, they don't get that way and call much and begin talk about it. In fact, they like in London, now one refugee Somalian where them born in London, where they pioneer most of these things. In fact, and just go now in and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation where they sponsor. Then go na Somalia because na Somalia and people then come out. Then go during the election, the campaign, and go talk to the candidates then for make them able for commit say then go ban this. And in fact, the man will win. And the first other one the way he passed for Banam. Na Somalia. And I don't know how that's going for happen because Somalia, you know, say na Somaliland actually, Somaliland, not to remain Somalia. I don't know how that's going for Pan House, but them Banam. So then she say na a good outcome for them because at least they don't use money and pressure. Na Somaliland, a place where not stable. So then they bring and come back na Sierra Leone. Then begin insert them into politics. Now so this year begin generate interests. Way about I think a couple days ago, the Sowe self then come out and ready for protest against this. But not so. The history is not. It has nothing to do with the Africans. The history has to do with the horrifying nature of the whites, because they not ever cause anything in it. So they just believe say every animal is supposed to be the same. And if then can see other animals that look a little bit different, then go on from there to make sure say we get what them call ashobi. So go ahead.
Well, this Mr. Makota, this is a difficult situation, but it's not really difficult. Now it concerns meaning we in Africa.
Yeah.
Now we one.
Now we
I remember you begin talk about India where they do the comparison.
Yeah.
Why they don't go India for pull them from worshiping cow or whatever they want to do, them Buddhism or whatnot. So, but again, it comes to we brothers them or sisters them where they in positions of trust, where everybody want for become rich overnight, where at the detriment of young people there. But the main focus here is, I mean, if they improve the thing for the safety of the sister them, me believe say na the issue. And in fact, I don't know when that can become an issue, because this thing don't they go on for ages. Where even the technology not be advanced to how it is now, maybe they won't find. But I think a lot of people now don't get involved into the business. So I know say most of the things the way that they do now for do whatever that they do. I mean, there is no sterilization. So if I say maybe Naim will cause hiccup, whatever the infection or whatnot. But if they're able, I say in Africa, they need to make this a focus even at the organization of African unity. If now that is assuming all Africans them, they all over Africa. I don't know. I'm not doing research on that. I don't know if now all over Africa.
Well, majority of African countries and they do, especially in North Africa, West Africa, South Africa, especially they do that. So almost everywhere in Africa. But the interesting part here is when you look at this particular thing. Saudi Arabia they do them here, because if you look at the religious background, historical background of this thing, which is the Islamic background of this thing. Now Saudi Arabia actually they do this thing very much, but they hear much about Saudi Arabia because number one, you know what, Saudi Arabia able to stand on their own. They know they rely on loans from the West, so they work. But it happened there. You see?
Oh, so I don't know. So that's why they do circumcision there.
Oh yeah, Saudi Arabia they do dancing there. Pakistan they do most of the Muslim countries they do dancing there. Historically, historically this thing started with Abraham, according to religious the Islamic history.
Okay.
It starts with Abraham where he married I think an Egyptian. Then waiting can happen. The big wife he also jealous. This wife, this small young woman, and the woman is beautiful. So you don't now instead he go cut down in what they call him. And when he cuts him, Abraham can see him, he like a more. You see? Now then you get for know the history of something before you able for arguing. Now that make I tell the people like Suleiman so we don't know nothing. It's just they talk no more because Saudi Arabia now then they do dancing so much. Then they cause dancing in Pakistan, they cause dancing in the other Muslim countries, they cause dancing in the, but they hear about Saudi Arabia, you don't hear other Muslim countries them now Africa no more because you know why? Now we are the inferior among the animal, the upper animal.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's right.
So that's so.
So until that country come together and make a policy statement on that, I mean, the continent, and they all engage, they bring in experts and say, well, we are not banning this thing, but our focus here is for the healthy side, the safety, how we look at, and then they make sure say every country then puts conditions then. So okay, this thing It's not going to be done again by people in the village. It's going to be done now by professionals. You know, if somebody trained for this circumcision of a man, they can equally train somebody at a proper health environment.
Exactly.
Medical facility for doing that. And then there's nothing Bill Gates could do, or money people away try to get money in Africa away treating at this kind of condition.
Just about 3 days ago, I think on Wednesday or so, where the interview Maya Kaikai, the minister now, where the minister for social welfare.
Look.
Yeah,
not local government.
Local government. Maya Kaikai, local government. Where the interview on the BBC. You know, the woman they talk and say, well, I'm not be the government, so we're not supposed to force a ban on this here. Okay. Well, my title and say, listen, this na a culture. I'm not born yet, I made this culture, and we are a democratic society. We will consult. If the majority say, let we ban them, yeah, we will find a way how we ban them. But if the majority say, let we improve them, we will improve them. But when they come begin say that cause the one as alone, because consultation not in. The government is just say they do anything what you want for do. And if you look at that particular statement, it gets some kind of hypocrisy connotation. Because if the government begin kill people, then let's say anyone who then hold them, them put na jail forever. There will be a time when the same Western country they talk to him, well, the government is too brutal. But because this now a desperate situation where they get, I don't know how desperate the West on this particular FGC, female genital circumcision, they're so desperate so much that they have to tell the government first, let them do first. I don't really understand. There is something behind this anyway. So, and this will get
on any for do that, we say, I'm sorry, Mike I mean, he talked to the BBC correspondent. You know, say here in the United States, they get what they call preposition, especially California. Anything where, nothing where the state is divided, some people they support that, people they against it. We not put them into vote. That's why they position this, preposition this, like California, where now they only get preposition 103, where they call 3 strikes you have. That's where the state votes on. So yeah, so
if you don't as Sierra Leone, I tell you for fact, the so way then they win. If we don't as Sierra Leone, genuinely, I don't say if we want to win. The so way then they win, and when they win, if they win, then it become a law. It become a law. But right now, until you know to a law, so the government able maneuver and make sure say it look at the civil rights of individuals and the culture, so it go easier. But if they put some the soil and they win, then they win.
Why you get confidence? So why you get confidence in the winning?
Because that's why now people their way get command over a lot of people that are the villages them. You understand? A lot of people that are the villages them. So and I tell you, if Nazi were not popular, because the first thing when they want to na for make them for being banned, but because the government can say if they do have, it will cause problem for them. And you know say government they look at their own interest. It will cause problem. So what that make them bring that law for say okay, at the age of 18 above. Otherwise, then for be just say you know it's not ban everything. But hey, you mama, na so way. The other person na so it go be it tough. It's tough. So that's the reason that one day. But again, what we talk so, the main important thing is if this thing need for improve, let them do now. And also the Bono society that the genital circumcision is just part of the Bono society. The Bono society gets so many other incentives, them other things, them where they inside it, where they help the girl begin for making it become a good woman. You know that, right? Yeah. So all them here, it's just, but then they just they focus on the circumcision parts. Then they focus on the other part them. But anyway, Next week, Dr. Fuamoy Sia Amadou within the TPN for let people then hear it from because now the woman that one the way don't stand up. One of the few women in the Western society like the United States we don't stand up say no, we can improve it, but there is no need for ban it. And he bring in medical expertise and even try for compare with the Western society where they do almost the same thing or even worse. So it will kind of the program also invite Suleiman Fona because this is not a public debate. Even though Suleiman Fona, the moment the debates begin go against him, it begin cause. Like we should attend and say you don't know what he talk about. But if you want for let we continue the debate, let you can have the program, let we debate him. It's a minute for Bona village. I don't need for in America. I need for Bona village. I said you don't need for insult me. Una don't use for go dey say yes or to anything wey white man say because una take white man as God. You know go sit down and say no thing. Let me stand up on me own and think on me own because that one of the things on the way very very lacking African them brain for stand and think on your own. And the reason that one the way you see Africa we don't lose Sierra Leone we don't lose so many cultures that where we need for improve. Some of them cultures they will improve them just like the Western world where they improve some of the culture. There are certain cultures them where we need for put on the museum because some of them cultures get any meaning again. Now with society, some of them cultures they need for retire them, but there are certain cultures where we need for improve. For make sure we retain that uniqueness as Africans. But oh yeah, we are inferior. You get the last one, Mr. Abdul.
Well, you hit the nail on the coffin. Until we are everything independent, economically and everything, they will continue to be. And when we could become independent, now God don't really know. Now God won't really know. But we can do that. It's just that we don't know yet. And like with one politician in America, he said, Michael DeCarpos, he said the best American is yet to come. So if I can borrow war, probably the best African is yet to come. Because these are subject to people where we don't need for them for country. When African person or current affairs on American affairs or Western affairs say this and this, no. Then they honor the tradition say today. So today, Obotili, then they recognize them, then they honor them and all the rest of it. So
a lot of things they honor them, yeah.
A lot of things they honor them. As long as we will make we feel good self, then they will always continue to tell us how they want to live life. And it's an unfortunate situation. But hey, what can we do? We have to accept it for now till we find a remedy. That's normal.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. But again, the last word now where I get for give me viewers them. Again, the election they go on today on the 10th, and we get less than a month for make una the poll. Some of them see how always this media exist for educate una, encourage una, and tell una say forget about all the perceptions where they go around say Africa man able to stand by himself. He able to do it, but now the will na him supposed to get. We able to do it. There are certain attributes we will make we able to do things for ourselves. Number one, we can't forget the willingness for do them. We can't forget the courage for do them, and the sacrifice for do them. Now, if we get them three things here, and we use them to wield advantage, Africa will be able to stand up on its own very quickly. Because to be honest, with you now, we don't need for the invent the wheel again. There are so many things where we will be able to use and bring this and take this and put together. We just continue for develop. But when we rely on the West for make and tell we what thing we supposed to do, it's not good for we. There is one saying where with big people then say when somebody all the time, you rely on somebody all the time for you fish, that dey make you lazy, you know, we able to go na water for go fish for yourself. So free gifts is great, but it gets impediments. It impede you from doing things for yourself wey go benefit you more than the free gift. And the danger with free gifts is, what happens if the person no gets? That's not the danger. I dey hear people like Suleiman dey talk say, oh, that 12 million wey dem bin wan for go offer, wey Sylvia Bladin dey talk about, say, oh, dem bin wan for go give dem 12 million for make dem ban the FGM. But Sylvia Bladin, wey bin dey as a social welfare minister, he no, what dem call am, he no buy into the bargain part. If we don't take that money, this na the kind of mentality wey dey pull we down. We care nothing but money. It's all about money. And you see, a society is more than just money. We get values, we get ethics, we get cultures, we get tradition. These are some of the components wey make you a unique person. But all about money. And the West know say that now we weaken point that one day, because it's all about money. You don't care if you sell your birthright, as long as you don't get that small cash wey they take you from 1 week to 1 month for it. It's all about that. And that's not the thing we need for change that mentality. We are human beings just like anybody. In fact, if you look at the historical, the ability, the genetics makeup, we are more resistant, we are more smarter, we they do things that way more than some of the other people that always say yes sir all the time. But what they kill we? Greed, selfish, and money consciousness. Now they kill we. So I thank you very much. We'll go see you back next week the same time. Like I said, Dr. Fuamoy Siyama Amadou, they come at the TPN next week. For now, we can talk about more of this, because this is already done a part of a political debate, so we need for debate about that. So when I make sure say all the parties, them, the APC, when I get for win, I don't say Mr. No one read that. When I get for win, but all the parties, them, when I all make sure say we campaign peace and safe. If we meet up with other parties, and then we laugh, then we joke. That will able to make we a better people. Okay? I thank you very much again. Good night.